Yo, what's going on, guys? So, I decided I wanted to make this quick video talking about Reticle Bloom and Halo Reach because in the last MCC dev update, they dedicated a decent amount of time to talking about Reticle Bloom and Halo Reach, and, you know, Bloom was kind of somewhat of a controversial topic back when Halo Reach first came out, and it kind of feels weird talking about it now, 9 years later. But I feel like the topic of Bloom has kind of become relevant again. Well, Reach in general has become relevant again, just with it coming to MCC and coming to PC. So, yeah, I want to talk about Bloom. A lot of people hate it, rightfully so. And I've heard several people say that they'd wish the whole game was Zero Bloom, just like the hardcore playlist is. And sometimes I agree with that. I get where they're coming from. I've said the same thing before. But if everything was Zero Bloom, if Halo Reach was Zero Bloom, like across the board, it would make the DMR way too effective at longer ranges. I mean, the DMR zooms in farther than the BR from Halo 3, right? It zooms in farther, and it's hit scan. I mean, with the BR in Halo 3, there was no reticle bloom, but yeah, like I said, it was a shorter zoom. There was bullet spread. The bullets were projectile based, so there was a lot of other elements there. In Halo Reach with the DMR, when you have no bloom on it, it's basically just a laser beam, and I just don't feel like the DMR should be that effective at longer ranges, and I feel like that would be more evident in something like Big Team Battle. Like people would be getting lasered across the map. So that's one of the cons of having Zero Bloom. Now, in something like hardcore with the maps, it works. It works in hardcore. So I think certain maps should or certain playlists should have Zero Bloom. Like I really wish there was more playlists with Zero Bloom other than the hardcore playlist. Like give me a regular Team Slayer playlist with Zero Bloom. Like that'd be great. But then there are definitely some playlists that I agree TU Bloom, which is 85% Bloom, that might be the better option. I don't really agree that 100% Bloom is the way to go, which is what Invasion uses. Maybe in something like Infection I could see 100% Bloom. Maybe that makes sense. But I think Invasion should have 85% Bloom. Now, it is kind of weird for me to say I don't want Zero Bloom in every playlist, because I can't stand Bloom. I hate it. I can't. I'm starting to hate it all over again. Like I hated it back when Reach first dropped, and now I'm rebuilding this deep hatred for Bloom again. I cannot stand it. Okay, you gotta pace your shots, right? That's the whole thing with Bloom. You have to pace your shots. Okay. That's fine and all. That's great. But I can't pace my shots. I don't have time to pace my shots when other people can just spam and hit every shot. Oh my, and I know you guys know what I mean. That is so fucking irritating. Like there's times where I'll be shooting a player in the back, right? I'll put 3 shots in his back, and then he'll turn around and start shooting me. Well, my shot, I already shot him 3 times, and now my shots are starting to miss because the bloom's so big, right? So I can't hit that 4th and 5th shot, but he'll turn around, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, spam, get me, I'm dead, I'm done, see you later. Oh, that happens far too often. Like, Reticle Bloom, I don't know what they were thinking. It is just awful. Absolutely terrible. RNG spread with Reticle Bloom. Like, I mean, yeah, it's just bad. I don't really need to go really in depth and talk about why Bloom is bad. It's just pretty obvious why it's bad. It's RNG. Like, honestly, is there anybody out there, anyone at all, who actually enjoys Reticle Bloom? Who enjoys seeing their bullets miss because of RNG? Does anybody actually like that? Do people get happy when they get outgunned because they're the RNG bloom? Like, does that make people excited? Yeah, I just got out DMR'd because all my bullets were missing because of RNG. Yes! Oh, that dude was able to spam and hit all 5 shots while I wasn't. Oh, this is awesome. No, nobody fucking likes Reticle Bloom. God damn. So as much as I hate Reticle Bloom, I'm still sitting here saying that maybe having Zero Bloom in every playlist would not be the best option. Now, I don't expect 343 to significantly adjust how Bloom works in Halo Reach, a 9-year-old game developed by Bungie. I don't expect them to do that, but I do want to share two different ideas I had for how Bloom, could work and wouldn't be that bad, I guess. So the first idea I had was this. Sure, maybe as you shoot your DMR, or any guns that are affected by Bloom, yeah, maybe the reticle does expand and get bigger and bigger the faster you shoot. Sure. But I thought, what if the bloom only affected the direction of your bullet at longer ranges? So at like a close to medium range, yeah, maybe your bloom, your reticle is expanding, but maybe the bullet still goes straight to the center of the reticle, right? Maybe it still goes to the center of the reticle. From medium, even though it's getting the reticle's expanding, your shot still goes in the middle from short to medium ranges. But only at longer ranges does there become a spread, right? So your bullet isn't going straight anymore. It might, go off to the left or the right, how Bloom typically works. So that was the first idea. Just, have Bloom only affect the direction of your bullet at longer ranges. And my second idea was, and now that I think about it, it's not even really a different idea. It's basically the same idea. My second idea was maybe Bloom, maybe there is no RNG bullet spread at all. Not at all. So maybe from medium or short, medium, and longer ranges, maybe your reticle does keep expanding like it does with Bloom in Halo Reach, but maybe your bullet always goes to the center. It always goes to the center. There is no spread. Your bloom expand, which would make it harder to hit shots at longer ranges, and that would remove. So the DMR wouldn't be as effective at longer ranges, and that would also remove the RNG element to it. So I mean, that kind of seems like the best of both worlds to me. But like I said, I don't expect 343 to adjust things like that. Maybe with something like Halo Infinite or a future Halo game, then I could see that. But like I said, I don't expect 343 to adjust certain things like that in this 9-year-old game. Even though they were the ones to bring the TU settings to Halo Reach. They had the rights to Halo at the time when that happened. So that the TU settings, that was 343. But at this point, 9 years later, I don't expect them to change that any further. So at the end of the day, there is both pros and cons of having Bloom in the game and not having it in the game. And, if I had to pick one or the other, like 85% Bloom in every playlist or 0 Bloom in every playlist, I'd probably go with the 0 Bloom, even though it would kind of, it would drastically affect the gameplay. Like I said, the DMR would be way too effective at longer ranges, but at least there wouldn't be RNG. It wouldn't be ideal, but at least there wouldn't be RNG when it comes to shooting the DMR. So that's my opinion on it. Honestly, I think there should be both TU settings and 0 Bloom settings. I think that's the best way to go. Some playlists should have TU, and I think more than just the hardcore playlist needs 0 Bloom. So again, that's my thoughts on Bloom in Halo Reach. Here I am talking about Halo Reach Reticle Bloom 9 years later. Never thought, that would be a thing, but apparently it is. Thanks for watching. Let me know what you guys think about Bloom. Tell me how much you hate it, because I know you all do. And I'll see you on the next one. Peace out, everybody.